Right. So, you want to talk about City of God? Your first time watching it?
Yeah.
So, I decided to watch this again. It's been like 20 years since I've seen the original, and when I first saw it, I was like blown away by it. It was one of the best movies that I saw that year. And yeah, the new HBO series, City of God, the fight rages on, and I felt like I needed to watch it again, which I just got done with the first two episodes, and yeah, I definitely needed to watch it again because they have so many characters from the original movie. But this was a good excuse for Ping to finally watch it. So, what did you think of City of God?
I like it. It's different, right? It took place in a different country, and obviously their culture and what's going on in that neighborhood is very different from, what we have here. And it was just very neat to see a different culture and what's happening there, how people act, and you know, all the crazy stuff that's going on in a story.
Yeah, in the movie, I think it was like very jarring for me to see all these little kids running around with guns and shooting and murdering people. Have you ever watched anything like that? Like,
No, I don't think so. I mean, having guns is already having guns everywhere is already kind of crazy. Let alone like having a kid holding the gun. It's
and
not
seeing
really.
kids get murdered too.
Yeah,
There's that one scene where that kid's like breaking down. That was pretty real. That felt real and kind of disturbing.
yeah. It definitely is disturbing because they just I guess people are so used to that. It's just like killing people or killing kids was not an unusual thing in the movie anymore. But I think for us it's kind of hard to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it starts out with a gang called the Tinder Trio, which they're like a Robin Hood gang. So, I mean, the area, this is Rio de Janeiro, an area called the City of God. And they basically commit crime out of necessity and not trying to hurt anyone. But gradually, his name's Little Dice and he's Little Z later when he's older. He takes over and it becomes more of violent gangs
Yeah,
after that.
I think that kid is so narcissistic, being the youngest in that gang, and he felt like he was the mastermind behind all things, and he felt like he wasn't being acknowledged, and then he's just going out of his way to be extremely violent to kind of like.
Well, he had that taste of violence, and after he satiated that taste, it's like he just became a monster, like
Yep.
through adulthood. I think it's like mostly non-actors in here, which is kind of like hard to tell. I know the love interest is an actual actress working today. She is actually in a Predator movie. Her name's escaping me right now, but yeah, it's mostly non-actors, and I'm thoroughly impressed with the performances of everyone.
Yeah, and I feel like it makes it very real, right?
Mhm.
'Cause they're not like acting, pretending.
Yeah, I don't know how they got that one kid to break down like that though, and they're gonna murder him. But yeah, usually I'm not too impressed with child actors, but
Yeah.
especially this. But like I liken this to Brazilian Goodfellas meets Lord of the Flies. Do you know what Lord of the Flies is?
No.
Okay, it's like a story about a bunch of kids getting stranded on this island. They make their own society,
Okay.
and there's like they break up into two groups and warring factions and stuff. So yeah, so Brazilian Goodfellas meets Lord of the Flies, kind of apt description of this. I think one thing I did notice, and this is a woke alert.
Okay.
Woke alert. That there aren't many fleshed out women characters in this movie.
Yeah.
Like you have the love interest, and once Benny dies, she just disappears from the story. One of the girlfriends of the Tinder Trio, trying to get him to leave the slums, she disappears, which makes sense because she kind of escaped. But then there's also Knockout Ned's girlfriend, and she gets SA'd. and then she disappears. It's like they just serve this purpose to move the other characters' stories forward. And I understand it's like only a 2-hour movie, you only have so much time, but that's one thing I did notice being 20 years older now
Okay.
that about this movie. But I still think it's a great movie.
Yeah. Was it intentional, you think, to move the female characters out of the story?
I'm not sure. I mean, maybe they're kind of an afterthought, but with a new show, they bring back a lot of those characters back, a lot of the women characters, but also all the characters come back, and they have, more prominent roles. But it is a series. It's not a 2-hour movie.
Yeah. But I mean, like, in extremely violent communities like that, what's the percentage of female that's actually involved in those type of violence?
But it got left a little bad taste in my mouth after the whole knockout Ned's girlfriend, and then she gets assaulted and then just disappears from the story. You never see her again. It's just motivation for knockout Ned. Yeah, so there's the new show. There's a spiritual sequel called City of Men. I've never seen it, but it's like it takes place in the same area, but it's like a smaller scale story, just about two guys who become like on opposite sides of a gang war. But I think it's a movie. It might be a series as well. But yeah. So what are your final thoughts and your rating for City of God?
I thought it was a good movie to watch. It is 2 hours and it's very fast paced. So for me, like, I had to really concentrate on every little piece of the story.
Well, English is your second language, so you're reading English subtitles while there's a different language on screen. So it's probably a little bit more.
I know, and it takes a lot of like my effort to like be so concentrated to not miss what's happening, and you have to read the subtitles as well as looking at what is actually going on, right? So for me, I feel like it might be a little bit too long, but I really have to say that I don't feel like there was one part of the movie that was a waste of time at all. Like, every piece was necessary. It's fast paced and it's good. It's a good story. Final rating will probably be 4 out of 5. A high 4 out of 5.
High 4 out of 5.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Once I saw this like the first time, it'd be easy 5 out of 5. I think being a little bit older and noticing just some of the things, I probably just bring it back down to a 4.5, but I still think it's like a fantastic movie and definitely worth watching.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
City of God.
Over.
Okay.
I guess that's it. If you saw City of God, let us know what you thought in the comments. Like and subscribe, hit that bell icon, and we'll see you later.